do that?
Well, the first conversation I had about the election results in November was with Kirkland, who said that our investors for the movie were going to make the sequel, which is called Adam C55 Plus, which is about us getting remarried in Palm Springs. That our investors freaked out about the election and they left the country and lost their financing. And so Emily Lansbury, who's a producer I worked with on a TV show years ago, I was complaining about this to her. I was like, God damn Trump, he lost their money. She was like, just make a bunch of TikTok videos about this shit. Just make fun of this shit. Amnesty running for MAGA in Project 2025. So we made a couple of these like TikTok videos, and then they were really successful. And so we just kept going, and we just kept making more. And then it went from like, if you notice in the movie, like we shot it in order, and like the sound at the beginning is really bad. It's really like homemade looking, and as we got further along, it got more professional looking. Like the sound was better and special effects. So it just sort of happened organically. There was no master plan, and we just kept making these. And then this is actually like a web series. It's 6 episodes, each are 15 minutes apart. You probably noticed they're like black spots, dark
yeah.
Form series.
Yeah, and that's when
we call them short form series.
Short form series. Sorry,
It's 2025.
And so we just put it all together tonight for 90 minutes. We really have 90 minutes of material, so we put them all together for tonight, just for you guys, really. And but it's going to be shown as 6 different episodes. And
what I really want to know about is how you created the depth and the relationship with Malcolm. So you have this, both of you have this sort of unique, subtle depth that is dry comic deliberately with this. It made me honestly want to jump on the screen and be with you guys in the scene. So wasn't it lovely to watch them work together?
Yes.
The relationship of over 20 years with somebody, and the love and the caring, and still it was sexy, and it was beautiful, and it was great, and everything. How did you do that as directing, writing, and acting? How did you do that?
this was really hard. We had no crew. It was just we shot this whole thing on an iPhone. So there was no crew. It was iPhone, our producer Emily, her phone, our phones.
Who held the phone?
Wow.
Emily did. And sometimes I would hold it if I wasn't in the scene. So, by the way, the actors in this movie are so good in this show because it's one thing to act when you have a crew because there's an audience. Like to act with some guy holding an iPhone takes a whole other level of professionalism. And it's hard. It's so blown away by you guys. And I had such great actors, and I wrote a lot of the parts for the people because I knew them, and just it was very much like Judy and Nikki got a bar and let's put on a show. It was very much that spirit, right? And yeah.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. That feeling, it was like a family. It was really lovely because it all rolls, not just shit rolls downhill. So does love.
Yeah.
Especially you're just so beautiful and wonderful and full of love, Craig. And so it was, I don't know, wasn't it just lovely? It was lovely.
Yes, and it was a thrill to I've known Craig since I'm 19. We met in Dallas, and I won't go into the whole story, but so I've been a friend of Craig's forever, and also became a fan as I watched him grow, and he was a mentor, like a big brother to me. So deeply meaningful to be in this for me, and also I got to play a closet case, which I knew a little bit about, but really, so it was so special. Every day, like every second.
No one got paid. There was no. The whole thing cost like under $10,000. It was just really like guerrilla, just like getting people together. And it was also because of what's going on in the country, like watching the news when I wrote this when I started writing this was all satire. It was satire, and then as we were making it, the reality started to catch up with us. And we're like, suddenly it's not satirical anymore, and we had to get. Nora kept saying, we have to go bigger, because real life is so over the top right now. It's so insane. So it just was like, when I made a lot of movies in the early 90s, and almost all of them, like Swoon and Greek, and it was a lot of the queer cinema movement that I was a part of came out of the political, that political moment because of HIV/AIDS and what's going on with Reagan and Bush. And so it feels like going back to my roots in a way because we're making something that's queer, that's completely about what's going on right in this moment, and it's not pulling its punches. And
it's look at this man, Kirkland People, who, guys, if you don't know this, he produced the film Latter Days. That had
Woo!
a couple years before the original Latter Days. And was that the gestation of being able to create this film with Craig? Because that film was so successful. Tell us about that.
Well, originally Adam and Steve was the first script we were putting in the production company. So in order, Adam and Steve was the first one that came in, and then Latter Day sort of came in right behind it. It caught fire. Love the Mormons. It caught fire, and Adam and Steve went very quickly right after that. And we were on a roll, raising money, and people got involved, and then the press started hitting, and we got a little lucky and hit it. And then this thing, we were on our way to the sequel. We're going to be here. We're going to shoot it here in 55 plus, and the writing was happening, and then the election happened, and well, something ran downhill, and it just fell apart, like so many things. And Craig kept calling me, going, "Yeah, I'm shooting this thing on an iPhone." I'm like, "You're what?" "Yeah, we're shooting on an iPhone. It's gonna be." They started seeing it, and it didn't feel like somebody shot it on an iPhone. It just felt good, and it felt right for this time. And so all I did was I was sitting in Oxnard going, "Go, Craig, go!" And he did it. He and this incredibly talented group.
It's not the sequel, because the sequel is meant to be evergreen. Like if you watch Adam and Steve now, it's not really that dated. Like it still feels, there's no smartphones, but other than that, it still feels pretty relevant. And a sequel should be evergreen. And the one we want to shoot here, which is called Adam and Steve 55 plus, which we set up at the end of this when he proposes to me, and we come to Palm Springs and we get remarried here. And I've already written that script. That was the first script I wrote, and it's all the neighbors from the first movie back. The my unlucky family, on the golf course. Like get hit by golf balls every day, it's all the same. And it's sort of like my Big Fat Greek Wedding type movie. It's really it's an over the top comedy like the first movie, and
we really the love is the love between the two of you. It's really wonderful to watch, and I think everybody here is probably wondering. So this film cost under $10,000, and you have people flying up in the sky. Now, how did you do that? Come on.
Emily did all that on her laptop with OpenAI. Just did it.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
That was pretty cool.
We all look at,
Yeah.
I look, my producer friend of mine, Martino, I look at each other and goes, "Oh my God."
We learned how to do it. We took a still photograph, and it's a whole. We did learn how to do it, but it's
That blew me away.
It's just like with the technology, like with an iPhone and with the tools that you have, like with
Lots happened in 20 years.
Yeah, it's so different now. You can just make a movie. You can make something on your phone, and you can edit it on Premiere Pro on your computer, and it gives you all this freedom. And it just feels like because we lost the money for our movie, we could do this in the meantime. And
So let's talk about it. So if there's anybody here that loves Adam and Steve, please talk to Craig and
Nadia and
yeah,
Nadia and
talk to them.
Mel.
Malcolm and I are separated a lot because it's hard to write. To create conflict, you either have to have I had to separate them so there was some story, they defined each other again. And there has to be conflict.
It had a Woody Allen feeling to it.
And that's my favorite. He's like his movies are like my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Malcolm and I met. When I did the first movie we did was readings up in New York. Like Alan Cumming played Steve in one reading, and we had no chemistry at all. And there were all these people that read and I played Steve in one reading with Mike Albo, and then one night when I saw Malcolm out socially, and I thought, back then he had like that beautiful blonde hair, and he was like such a gorgeous leading man, and I was like, maybe he would be good. And so I'm like, I have this script, would you want to read it? And he's like, yeah, everybody's always good at your scripts. And so he did the reading, and we had this chemistry that was just sort of like, it's weird. It just exists in its own world, in its own universe, because we don't have anything in real life. We don't have those feelings for each other, but there is this like deep love for each other.
And on screen it really works.
Just now it's still there. We didn't know if it would be, but we got together.
Do we have time to take a couple questions, guys?
Well, I just want to give the proper introduction to Nadia and Mel and the names of their characters, because I know a lot of people are wondering exactly. Yeah. Go ahead and introduce both. You can just both of yourselves.
Nadia played Charles Bush. Mel played Michael Musto.
I was the black man of the film. So do we have time for a couple questions?
Yeah, maybe just
Two?
two.
Two, okay. Let's have two questions. Yes, what's your name?
I'm Cameron, and I'd like to know if you're gonna have a pet or a dog in the next one?
French Bulldog.
Aw,
Yeah.
yeah.
I dedicated the movie Punch Like That.
Two old gay guys without a dog? That's just not possible. They're Palm Springs. Anybody else? I saw someone else. Okay. Well, this has been really great. Thank
Yes.
you all so much. Please look for,
It's gonna be on the interwebs,
it's
so.
going to be on the intro, and also look for Adam and Steve, pushing 55. Oh, 55 plus.
Woo! And Jason.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Jason.